Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Isaac Umbras, and today we are back in Hot Wheels World Race. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to actually make it to drive the very retro-inspired Aero Flash car today with Sanjay Khan, who, if memory serves me correctly, in-game, or in the movie, comic lore and everything, is like an archaeologist, something like that, or at least a navigator for like different treks and everything, and that's why he was brought on. So yeah, we get the very nice in the lore behind Aero Flash as well. The car is supposed to be an electric car, but this as you can hear from the engine sounds, very much is not. You can even see they added the tailpipe in the central location at the very back at the bottom there, but it's supposed to be an electric car. So you know. But I mean, it does have very high acceleration and very high grip, very weak boost, very weak top speed. So it's not all that quick in a straight line, but it can launch very well, and it goes on the corners very quick. Yee. His car. I think I had a couple of these, the models of this car growing up as a kid. That's just a fun vehicle as well, because it didn't do too well on the tracks, because it had a massive amount of overhang on the front and the rear, so it didn't really do too well on the tracks, but it just looked really cool as well. Honestly, it would have been cool having a Sizzler's version of this car as well. You could easily fit in the electric motor and all that stuff without too much issue, and it would fit into the lore of, you know, having the electric vehicle. And also with a lot of the Sizzlers, especially the Sizzlers that were based off of IRL cars, being based off of kind of more retro inspired, kind of 70s mid-engine supercar inspired. The Aero Flash would have been absolutely perfect for that. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one, I think, given the low top speed of this car. Top speed is king in this game, and we already have three actually other cars that we're up against that have fairly high top speed and very good grip, being the Scorchers Overboard 454 and the Wave Rippers power pipes. Alright, into space. I will say though, the liveries for the Street Breed cars always look really cool, with their bright greens, their reds, their purples. Very vibrant, looking kind of inspired a little bit of the tuner culture, as well as having a bit of a cyberpunk aesthetic as well to them. And it is always really cool to see. I'm gonna keep it low first. Gonna make sure I get as many rings as I can. Alright, there we go. There's 5 down. There we go. Boop. I'm on the phone, but listen. That's alright. I appreciate you coming to the stream and just vibing with me and everything. Alright, I think we're good, we're alright. This car does have a pretty weak boost stat, so its boost probably won't be all that effective. Petra, welcome. Remember the Celica that raced in the 80s? Yeah. I remember someone made a YouTube video about it as well, not too long ago. And it talking about how the car itself was a little bit low on power, but still managed to dominate due to the reliability and everything of the Celica. It's a pretty cool video, honestly. But yeah, the 80s IMSA GTO class and the 80s IMSA GTP class was really cool. Just seeing, you know, a lot of the vehicles. Plus, you also had the Chemo GTs, which basically were like the precursor to like your spec LMP series, like your LMP3s, your LMP2s, being an off-the-shelf prototype that you could buy and run, that were all kind of equal in performance. for the Celica XX or the Celica Supra? That's a tough one. Probably the Celica XX. Shorter wheelbase, a little bit more modernized and everything. The Celica and the Supra definitely became a lot better when they both kind of, for lack of better words, divorced each other in terms of the design, really kind of coming into their own. When they were together, they were okay-ish cars, but like they weren't quite as good as when they were separately. Like when they separated, you had the Celica GT4s, and the Supras became, you know, the inline six powerhouses we know them as today with the A70, and then later on the A80, and now with the A90 generations. So it was pretty good stuff. So sometimes you have a design that tries to do too many things at once and it does nothing well. The F-35 being an example of that. Too big to be an air superiority fighter. Too not enough payload capacity to be, you know, a bomber. Annoying vertical takeoff and landing system doohickey mess. That adds a massive amount of complexity to the design because the Navy wanted it. Well, someone said that the Super was supposed to be competing against the 300Zs. Yeah, it was basically supposed to compete against the other, you know, high-end sports groups at the time. You know, your Nissan Zs, and then later on, the Mitsubishi 3000 GTs as well were kind of like the main market that Toyota was trying to get. And honestly, even the A70 Super did a pretty solid job with that, being granted a bit of a heavier car, but still very luxurious, very powerful, having a high displacement engine, being that kind of, you know, GT cruise that could really compete with the other offerings that Japan had on tap. Like they did a really good job with that. I wouldn't say a flop. Like it had a pretty dedicated following and all that stuff. Like the A70 and the A80 at least both sold very well, and the Celica Supra sold well enough to justify continuing making the Supra. So I wouldn't exactly say it flopped. Like it was just one of those things where during the Japanese bubble economy, when the economy crashed, like a lot of high-end Japanese sports cars kind of got hit hard during the early mid-2000s. And then you had the global economy crash as well, which didn't help things in like 07, 08. And so a lot of companies just weren't making the high-end cars anymore. That's why you saw, like, you know, the Impreza STI, like around 2012, kind of fade out. The Evo 10 as well, you know, Honda stopped making the NSX and had to get a special provisions in order to compete in Super GT with their HSV 010. You know, Nissan making the same GTR for like the longest time as well. Like the economy crash really kind of hurt the Japanese car market, and then the global economy crash hurt them even more as well. So it really didn't really do too well for them. There we go. Yeah, the Aeroflash ain't exactly a quick car. It's got the grip and acceleration error that means any mistakes we make won't be super costly, which is good. Alright, Tesla's Cube. Yeah. Yeah, so we just gotta... well, watch, this will be the one vehicle that we managed to do a perfect run of the whatchamacallit, of the league with. Midnight, welcome, hope you're well. I saw you mention the Grizzlies gonna be playing the Raptors, I think it is, the Toronto Raptors. Best of luck to the Grizzlies, especially with Canada being Canada. Canadians being Canadian. Putting Putting gravy and cheese curds on French fries. Ugh, culinary disaster that poutine is. Like, wow, you got soggy, cheesy fries. Good job, Canada. I should probably stop making fun of the Canadians too much. They are great at committing war crimes. I mean, look at poutine. There we go. Give me the flips. Give me the flips. Whoa, a little bit of Americans put gravy on chicken fried. Nah, gravy does not belong on. Ugh, why do people like their fries so wet and soggy? That's gross. Like the entire point of, you know, frying them is to make them nice and crispy. You know? Like, yeah, you get a little bit of a soft inside, but you still get that a little bit of a crunch, a little bit of a crisp, a little bit of crispiness to them. Like putting gravy on them kind of ruins it. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, I like my fries. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I will definitely dip my fries and stuff. Yeah, but like, to put like to coat it first before you eat it, like for a decent amount of time, like it's gonna get soggy at the bottom. Down south, people folks put gravy and everything. Yeah, some things make sense, you know, like you know, getting some fried chicken with some gravy on it. All right, yeah. Or like chicken and waffles. Yeah, definitely. Or like, honestly, I kind of do like country fried steak. Actually, it is pretty tasty. It's like definitely not healthy, but it's still pretty tasty. But like, French fries need to be crisp, in my opinion. Fried chicken mix is like I mean, a little bit, yeah. It's gotta be like, you gotta have like the right amount of gravy, or like have like gravy as like you dip it in it. Make the gravy a dipping sauce. Saw the worst Gran Turismo ranking earlier. Uh-oh. Alright, let's hear it. I want the pain. I can handle the pain. I am ready for the pain. What is the worst Gran Turismo ranking? What is the worst Gran Turismo ranking? Like how it turned into a food debate? Yeah, I mean, food's always tasty. But I like my food crispier. Like, I like the corners of brownies. A lot of people in my family don't like them, which is great because more for me. Or potato chips over fries. I don't know. I like the warmth of French fries as well. Number 9, Gran Turismo PSP. I've not played it, so I can't really comment too much on it. But okay, makes sense. Someone's not a big fan of like the handheld games, prefers, you know, sitting down at a console and playing things. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, too much corn syrup. Yeah, everything in moderation. Just, you know, every once in a while I get a little bit of chips or some fries, what have you. Not too much. Bonk, land it. There we go, right up there with the power pistons. You can definitely see the lack of top speed on this vehicle when there isn't a whole lot of cornering, or a whole lot of there isn't a whole lot of corners for it. Yeah, making your own is pretty nice as well. Number 8, Gran Turismo 6 biggest gripes being focused on online. Very fair. There wasn't as much single play compared to previous Gran Turismo games, and a lot of content was online only, which now is no longer accessible. Totally fair. Microtransactions considerably less. You can beat the game even without going online, without doing any microtransactions. The problem people have with the liquids, it makes anything soggy, is you have to do it in moderation. True. Yeah, I guess if I'm doing it, yeah, grease can definitely ruin a pizza, holy moly. Like, I definitely prefer my fruit a little bit on the drier, crispier side for sure. Yeah, gravy can definitely ruin the waffles as well. That's why you crisp it up a little bit more. You make you cook the waffles for just a little bit longer, get them just a little bit crispier. If you're planning on putting like the gravy or like what I like doing with my chicken and waffles is sriracha maple syrup. That's really good. Yeah, you don't want it too dry. Like your carbs can be a bit on the drier side, and then you add your sauces to that, and that kind of like helps it out, kind of evens it out and everything. If you're planning on adding sauces, that's something to help you when you have gravy on the waffles. Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where you have to like go light, very light on the gravy, and then like the gravy itself needs to be like a lot thicker as well too. I think that might help. Alright, come on. Full speed ahead. Number 7, Gran Turismo 2. Alright, that's definitely an interesting one. Percentage not being able to get 100%. Fair. Definitely didn't almost kill the series, so far from it. Like, even at the time, the reviews for the game were, even with the bugs, the reviews for the game, both from the public and from, you know, reviewing outlets, was still very strong. And it was like the 3rd or 4th best-selling game on a PlayStation 1 of all time. Like, that's not something that almost ruins a franchise. Oh, I probably should have gone up there. Oh well. Yeah, nothing worse than dry. Like, you want your meats to be juicy, but your carbs can be dry if you're adding like sauces and all that stuff. Like, I like having my pasta a little bit al dente, and then when I bake my pasta, after I'm done kind of cooking, you know, boiling and everything, I do bake it for a little bit longer just to get a little bit of the crunchies on the corners and everything. Oh yeah, no, like not like overcooked, but like, you know, enough to like, you know, enough that it's not just like falls apart in your mouth, super, you know, rubbery kind of like wet pasta either. Yeah, don't do raw pasta unless you're making manicotti. Because that, you do have to make it, do it raw, because you fill it with the cheese mixture first, and then you add the sauce, and you bake it in the sauce. That, you have to do it raw first. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, you don't do that. 6 GT Sports? Yeah, that one doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not super big on GT Sport. It was okay for what it was, but not the big fan. This is just spaghetti. Yeah, no. Oh man, manicotti though is really tasty when you make it like that though. You stuff your cheese and egg mixture inside of the shells. And you kind of line up the shells in the baking tray, sauce over top, then a little bit of meat, then some more sauce. And then some of the, then you top it with the cheese, and all kind of melts together for a bunch of goodness. Very tasty. It's basically kind of like almost like a lasagna in a way. But it's tasty. It's good. I forgot the channel, but this lady was doing the worst recipes, and it was just raw pasta, ew. Like, unless you're gonna be cooking it in sauce with it raw, like, you just, no. Like, I cook my pasta and like, I boil my pasta and everything like that. I just like it a little bit firmer. Like, not like super like dry, but like just like right on the very edges. Gets a little bit of crispiness. I like, you know? Like you get into the corners and it's just a little bit more solid and everything. I like that a lot. 5 Gran Turismo 4. What? Gran Turismo 4 as number 5. That means he puts Gran Turismo 7 with a higher focus on microtransactions, a worse economy, and a high focus on online compared to Gran Turismo 4. Bruh. Like, I get PSP being last, especially if you don't like, you know, handheld gaming and all that stuff. I get that. Like, and Gran Turismo 6, I can definitely see that being a lower tier as well, just because a lot of the content is just no longer accessible. Same thing with 5 as well, which always makes replaying them a bit of a pain. Because, like, it's not the same game that, like, you grew up playing and everything. It's an entirely different experience, and it's a lesser experience because of that. Which I don't particularly like. But that is so strange. Oh gosh. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie daisies, sorry about that. There we go. Alright, we can go up into the wall now. It's gonna be tough catching the power pistons given the very low top speed of this car. Like, we're basically constantly at top speed the entire run. For his Gran Turismo 7. What, is he just because, oh, pretty graphics, or like, that's silly. But okay, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, even I don't fully agree with that. I mean, that means Gran Turismo 3 is at least in his top 3, so, you know, they got some taste, I guess. But still. Like, some interesting takes there, for sure. There we go, got all those. Alright, we should have something here soon, right? Maybe. Boink. 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 Gran Turismo 5? I mean, that's somewhat reasonable, despite the leveling system, and despite the focus on online. 5 still has a mostly complete career mode that, while definitely very grindy, is still doable offline. So not too terrible. Like, there's definitely worse games you can put at number 3. Me personally, I wouldn't rank Gran Turismo 5 that high, but like, it would be probably in the top half, I think. So that means Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 3 are in the top 2. Which is definitely interesting, as Gran Turismo 1, outside of the historical context, is it's definitely the weaker one of the series. Just given the fact that everything it does, later games do better. With a larger car list, bigger track variety, more events to do, better physics, better graphics, all of that stuff. So, it's one of those ones where it was innovative at the time. Yeah. I mean, it's still a very, very good game. Like, if you were to ask me to rank, like, the best PS1 games, Gran Turismo 1 would probably still be in, like, the top 5. It would be behind Gran Turismo 2, but, like, it was still, I played it recently on stream, like, last year, I think, yeah. And, like, I still had a lot of fun with it. But there's still some objective flaws that 2 addresses. Like, a lot of the lower power cars not nearly having enough use. The fairly short career mode, and the kind of, there's only like, granted, 11 tracks at the time was pretty solid, But again, other Gran Turismo games do more and do it better. But I still quite like Gran Turismo 1. Welcome JB. Hope you're well. We're driving the Aero Flash. What's supposed to be an electric car. Definitely not an electric car though. With its exhaust tip peeking out of the middle under the license plates and the engine noise. I found it's those TikTok oven meals. How many wonders of some of that is just like rage bait to get people to like, you know, engage in the content and, you know, all that silliness. Personally, I wouldn't want to ever do that type of stuff. Like, all my opinions, all my thoughts are, they're my own, but like I stand by them. I will say though, for me, Gran Turismo 3 is still my personal favorite. Like, objectively, 4 is the better game with more content, better physics, all of that stuff. But 3 just has a little bit more of that fun factor. Oh, Watch Mojo, yeah. Gosh. But for my favorite Gran Turismos, I'd probably put 3 at the top as well. I hate that I agree with Watch Mojo on that. But yeah, no, like it's one of the ones where it is a combination of nostalgia, because it was my first Gran Turismo game, but also, you know, it felt like every car in that game had a purpose. Like, very rarely do you come across a car in Gran Turismo 3 in which there is literally like no use for it. Whereas, like, especially starting from like 4 onwards, there was a lot more, shall we say, bloat in the game. Where you had a lot more cars just for the sake of having those cars, but there wasn't any events for those vehicles. Like, for example, the Benz Patent Motor Wagon. Cool cars, but like you can't really do anything with them. You should just repeat the boring popular opinions. Now it better than the branded dribble experience. Yeah. Or at least, you know, be consistent with the logic. Like, for me, most of my ranking with the Gran Turismo games is how well they use the content that is in the game. Which, again, is why I rank 3 quite high. Because it does make quite a bit to do with the comparatively smaller amount of content in the game. And is able to make it continuously fun all the way till the end. Plus, you know, I do like the fact that you can steadily, you know, begin upgrading your car through the game and everything. And you can see the progression, whereas in other games, the opponents aren't always, you know, upgraded, you know, in the higher level events. So you're raising a bunch of, like, your stock cars. I actually quite like the professional level of Vitzer race. And I'm a weirdo. Because it's basically like a bunch of fully tuned economy cars duking it out in a semi-endurance setting where you gotta factor in tire wear and setup and all that stuff. Which is really, really cool, and not nearly enough of the Gran Turismos do that. As otherwise, the Vitz race is usually a one-off race, and like, you do it in a stock Vitz that you win in like the second or third racing series, and then you're done. And then you never drive the Vitz again. Whereas in Gran Turismo 3, you know, even in professional league, you're doing some of those one-make races with, you know, heavily modified, you know, production cars and everything, like the Elise Challenge or the Clio Trophy and everything. And it's an absolute blast. I wish it was a professional league Beetle Cup as well. We actually get to race, you know, the Beetle Cup cars and everything, with, you know, factoring in the pit stops and all that. That would be cool. But alas, that didn't happen. Alright. Bonk. There we go. Alright, good landing. Yeah, this car has like no top speed. It is pretty weak, I think. But we've not had any like major hiccups so far with it. Knock on wood. And it's served us quite well, so I am definitely excited, you know, to keep driving it. This may be the one where we do actually, you know, go all the way to the end and win every single event. That'd be hilarious if one of the lower tier cars are the ones we do it in. Gosh, it only goes up to 230 on a downhill. Like, it is very weak in terms of power. Like, it's got good gearing for the acceleration, and it's light, so it's like very grippy, but it just does not. Like, I am losing ground on the power pistons. There we go. Boom, shakalaka. Give me them flames. I need as many flames as possible. I need as many flames as possible to get a little bit of a boost. I ranked GT4 at 5 because of the AI. I mean, the AI in the Gran Turismo games has always been kind of, shall we say, not firing on all cylinders. Like, that's not a unique complaint with 4. And honestly, in 5, it's even worse. It's crazy I can have a clickbait channel and rake into subs. I mean, it's I don't know, it is what it is. I guess it's the mass market lowest common denominator appeal, maybe? I don't know. Not for me, not the type of content I'd want to create. If I ever did more like long form content and everything. Just like I wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't feel right, you know, doing that. Anything about that Smash leaker? Smash leaker? Wait, there's a leak on a new Smash game? Or is this one of those things where it's like, oh, I leaked the Smash Bros. And it's just a bunch of speculation, or, well, here's what happened if I did have Smash Bros. Now and was able to leak it to you guys or whatever. Like that kind of silliness. Nah, the guy was doing with Ultimate and the voting whistle thing. Oh. Was he accurate, or was he just like speculating and being a dingus? The Grinch, like, the Grinch steals a show in Smash Brothers. Like, it's not even a video game character. Yeah, clickbait. The clickbait. Yeah, guys, the adding John Wick to Smash Brothers. That would be cool to get more non-Nintendo characters in Smash Bros. Like, you already have Sonic, maybe adding like Knuckles and Tails as well, as those two I think could have very different fighting styles and movement styles as well. I actually put GT7 at 4 because, oh, it's a graphic. Bruh, there's more to games than graphics. The point of a game is to be played, not to look pretty. Forgot his name, but he was called out so many times on Twitter and nothing happened. Yeah, I mean, some people just, they're controversy proof, I guess, or they live with that type of stuff. They got no shame. Those in the rating says food place. I'm not seeing that, so I'm not too sure what you're talking about there. But yeah, like, the clickbait stuff is kind of ridiculous. Can you beat Hot Wheels World Race without pressing the gas pedal? Gone wrong, gone sexual, 3 a.m. challenge. The cops were called. Maybe they try to cancel me for saying that. Uh-oh, hang on a sec. That Mega Man was oversaturated like Pokemon. I mean, a little bit. There was a lot of hype in Smash with Mega Man, and I can't imagine it'd be too easy to add another Mega Man character, because Mega Man does kind of have a lot of movesets from like other characters, from bosses he beats and everything. Lucky Valley, welcome. Hope you're well. Right now, we're driving the some more of the Street Breed cars, trying to go for a 100% victory run on one of the leagues as well. We haven't quite done that yet. Mega Man had 7 games in one. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, if they're all like functionally different, like maybe like one's like a JRPG, or like one's like a fighting game, one's like your standard Mega Man, you know, going through, beat the bosses, take their powers and all that stuff, then I could kind of see having multiple releases per year. But if it's all like a lot of the same formula, then eh. Like for example, like the Mass Effect universe, like, or like the Halo universe, like that'd be kind of cool, having like multiple different types of games outside of the first-person shooter genre. Like imagine having like a fighter pilot game set in like the Covenant War or whatever. Or like have a Helldivers-esque ODST spin-off or whatever. Like that would be cool. I said the same thing about Gran Turismo 5, and the game had the standard cars. Yeah. Mixed feelings on the standard cars as well. On one hand, they did help boost the car list. On the other hand, yeah, they looked a little bit out of place compared to like the premium vehicles. It's like Mega Man 0, Mega Man Classic, Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends. Jeez. Okay, that is a lot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, let's stay ahead, let's stay ahead. I know he's our teammate, but we need to stay ahead here. Come on, through the twisties. Oh, he's gonna be catching us. He might beat us. Oh, just barely. 0.4 seconds. Man, the top 3 were very, very close there. Oh, 4th place with a very nice amount of points. I would take that. 69 points. Noise! Like, there's a lot you can do with an IP if it's set in like a well-developed universe. Unfortunately, those ones with the well-developed universe oftentimes have multiple years between IP releases and only one studio working on like maybe like an RPG or whatever, or a first-person shooter like in the case of Halo. Like, bruh. Like one of those popular characters in the game is a twink and the other is a gooner. I mean, fans gotta relate to someone. That's mean, Isaac. That is very mean. Probably not wrong, but definitely mean. Oh, I needed that boost pad. I needed that boost pad. Alright, easy there, easy there. And the other game is a dude who never graduated high school and a psychopath. I mean, takes all kinds to make the world go round, I guess. Jeez. It's a colorful bunch of characters. Ow. Please do not ram my ass. Yeah, they're probably talking out their behinds. But it is what it is. Just leave it dislike and move on, you know? That's funny, is that the guys hate the Gooner. What if it was a hot chick there? I mean... Yeah, that do be how the cookie crumbles. Alright, I'll take it. I'll take it. We got our flames at least. Alright, come on, chat. We don't got this. What was that? It didn't grab me. I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. Ah! RoboCop. I love Robo. The first RoboCop was so good. Even RoboCop 2 was okay. RoboCop 3 was... interesting. But RoboCop 1 and 2 were pretty good. I liked those. Those were fun. Like Kane was genuinely terrifying as a villain. And like the first one, like Clarence Boddiker's crew was genuinely entertaining villains. Plus also like the practical effects and everything in both those movies were like top dollar. Very, very solid stuff. Boink. Alright, one more lap, ladies and gentlemen. Through the twisty bits. Give me them boosts. Whee! There we go. Give me more of that. I want more of that. I got 81 rings, so we still have more to get, but I don't know where. Alright, so far so good. Where are the rest of those rings? Where are they? Where is she? Where is she? Where is Rach? Oh, I remember now where it is. It's on the jumps. Whoops. Oh well. Oh well. Yep, it's here. No, it's not there. Where were they? Oh well. Hi, welcome, Isaac Umbras, Ring Hunter. Sounds kind of sus. Nah, I'm just, you know, getting some ancient artifacts to sell for profit and everything, you know? I'm like Sonic. Getting all them rings. Oh gosh. Nope, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. My mind went someplace horrible. Because, I mean, it is a Sonic fan. I'm sure there is art that exists of Sonic in a different kind of ring, and I don't wanna see that. Nope. Nope. Anyway, how have you been? Hope you're well. How do be things for you? Oh man, this thing is so slow. The Arrow Flash, it's supposedly in lore an electric car. So even in game, it's got a really low top speed. But it's got killer acceleration and fairly good handling actually. Like we're able to really carve up the twistier sections of the corners. But like, oh, it struggles. Any elevation change and it is just curtains for this thing. Bonk. Oh god, what they said about GT3. I am scared now because it's one of those things. It's one of those things where GT3 is genuinely one of my favorites. But having someone that agrees with me with like the dumb way, but making like a really silly point, it's like one of those things where it's like, bruh, You make me want to disagree with you because how you're presenting this. I played the fifth, stuff that's only worth talking about option. Exactly. It's not said to be supplied to other games in this series. Also shadowing GT6 again. I mean, to be fair, GT6 does need to be shadowing a little bit. Hey, I know one of the biggest things that people like about the Gran Turismo games is the freedom. The kind of create your own, you know, career mode and everything. Where you're just given some money and then you get to pick your own car and everything and progress that way. So how do we force people into one car only? I kind of like Guna guys who get punished more than the Guna girls. Because the Guna girls never get caught out for it. Yeah, a little bit of a double standard. Although Futaba still is absolutely adorable. Futaba, like outside of Kawakami, like Futaba is probably my second favorite of the female confidants in Persona 5. She's just an absolute like adorable sweetheart. It also doesn't hurt that outside of Kawakami, she's the second closest in personality to my IRL wife, so, you know. So how could you not love a game with car manufacturers like Porsche in your presence? Oh yeah. Like, Futaba definitely is a little bit of a massive pervert. But she's still cute that way. I mean, I get liking Porsche, but like, you had Roof, which is basically like discount Porsche. Except faster. Like, come on. I can almost go and just slap over. Or at the very least, be probably about as off-put as Anne and Makoto were, so you know. Yeah. I don't know, Futaba's a gooner, but she's our gooner, you know? Plus glasses. Comment isn't showing up. Well, the spelled out motherfire trucker is, but the other part is not. I am not seeing the other part. Ironically, though, the spelled out motherfire trucker is, though. Like the one anime where the girl just body flat and the other go against the wall. Like, no! Bad! Bad Yuri bait. Oh, the submerged city. I love my sub city. I broke it up twice anyway. Combo breaker. What? Oh, we're ranting about Watch Mojo being dumb with regards to their rankings on the Gran Turismo rankings. Still see it in chat? And I don't know. It's not showing up on my end. I'm hearing Yuri mention a YouTube video. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's why it didn't show up. Okay, I see it. Porsche's not in GT3. Yeah, it's Roof instead. It's Roof. Which, again, is... It's functionally Porsche, but it's not Porsche. Yeah, like, I mean, Futaba definitely gets called out on her... Maybe not nearly as much as some of the guys in the series do, but she still gets called out on her, pervertedness. Especially the Mementos dialogue, for sure. depends because people don't like face symmetry either. Hmm. It's a Porsche chassis that's been improved. Because you got more power and it's not nearly as... I mean, the Yellowbird is still murder happy, but like the other ones are a little bit better. I don't know, in general, I'm not the biggest, like, I like the racing legacy of Porsche, but I don't really like Porsche, like driving Porsches in The Sims, as they're backwards German meth chocolate machines that just, they're trying too hard to make a concept that works and everything. I've not driven the roof in iRacing, but I've driven plenty of the roofs in Assetto Corsa. But again, I don't really like roof cars, or not roof. I don't really like Porsche cars all that much, so I know I'm gonna get crucified for that. But it's just, it's one of those ones where I don't like the way they handle. I'm supposed to make fun of KFF. Yeah. Boink. Alright, we got a solid lead. Yeah, the Cayman's a good one because they put the engine in the middle instead of in the rear. So it's a little bit better in that regards. But like, oh gosh. The rear engine Porsches are just kind of dreadful. I'm not a fan of driving them. People keep saying, why don't Andy marry Maya? It's like, bro, of course. Yeah, weddings do be expensive. I can't handle the off-throttle wanting to murder you of a rear engine car. Like, it was fine when you only had around like 200-ish horsepower. And you had a lot less mechanical grip as well. So you needed that to accelerate out of the tighter corners and everything without, like, you know, spinning the rear wheels and all that stuff. It made sense back then. Nowadays, not really. Not really. Porsches are usually among my least favorite GT3s alongside the Audis. Gotta pay bride price, the wedding, paying the guests, the ring, all this stuff. Yep. See, I don't mind the Lambo, because the Lambo's at least semi-predictable in trying to kill you. But the Audi... Like, the Audi and Porsche are definitely tied for my least favorite GT3 cars to drive in Sims like ACC or iRacing or, like, all that stuff. But I will fully admit, I am a front-engine aficionado. I like my Grand Touring style cars, like your Aston Martins, your Mercedes AMGs and all of that stuff. Got to pay for a wedding if you're already single. Yeah. Ripperoni and cheese. I don't know. I got a little bit of a lucky break with regards to finances, so I was able to, you know, pay off the wedding and everything, but still, Isaac likes some top heavy. I mean, a decent amount of, you know, a decent amount of weight up front, you know, it's nice and comforting. Yeah, no, it's difficult to... Weddings are expensive. Like, unless you're eloping and everything, and even then, it's still a little bit pricey. I mean, one guy's married with kids, and he's hardly in... Okay, if anymore. True. But still, like, it's expensive. Weddings do be expensive. Just waiting to get thrown in a prototype. Oh, not for a while. Not for a while. I like my low downforce cars. I like my low downforce cars for real. Like those are my bread and butter. Your touring cars, your production style cars, even your vintage racing cars. Those are really nice. Yeah, probably Spec Racer 4 would probably be like, or like you Spec Miata. It's more so just getting used to how quick everything comes up on you. Whereas in slower cars, you get more time to react, you get more time to kind of recover. Or in the straights, especially in twistier courses and everything. The prototypes, it feels like you're more reacting as opposed to anticipating the corners. And I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like I can't race as competitively. And maybe that's just a me issue. My reaction time is kind of dog water. Which, given my my performance in recent GT3 races, probably wouldn't be too out of the ordinary. If I can get through the first lap, I'm okay, but I have not been able to get through the first lap in a lot of the most recent races. I've either been wrecked or I've gone into someone and it's just a mess. My special ass can drive, then so can I. I don't know. It's different styles of driving. Like you put me in the M2s in ACC, you know, like one of the slowest cars in the game, and I can give Alex a run for his money. Like I can stick to his ass for a couple of laps, and he's also better in the slower cars as well. But like, so you don't want me to show up in V-Check at Imola this weekend and just sitting around a second back looking. I mean, if you want to, you're welcome to. It's gonna... Whatever happens, happens at this point. But I know Imola's a bit of a cursed track as well with regards to the track history. I just want a clean race, man. I don't even want to do well. I just want a clean race. Like, even if after like recovery drive or like I spin off or whatever, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but like I just want to get through the first lap without anyone hitting me or me hitting anyone else. AC doesn't vibe me. No, I get that. Like I gave iRacing the honest college try and everything, and it was one of those things where I like the regular driving, like the lap per lap and everything was pretty enjoyable, but the actual wheel-to-wheel racing is kinda... I didn't like it. I didn't like it. If the developers of iRacing ever make like a WRC or like a rally game where it's a lot more like your time trials and all that stuff, but it's kind of the similar physics, I'd probably rock that quite a bit. But the wheel-to-wheel circuit racing they create, I personally am not a fan. Different strokes are different, folks. Start from pit lane. No, then I gotta go through the Amfield. Oh gosh, and as I don't want to speak bad about people, but like sometimes it does get a little bit unpredictable when coming up with them with blue flags, let alone when you're trying to race them for position. And more so with ACC, you can kind of self-regulate with the leagues and everything, and also I don't know, I feel blind when doing iRacing. The lack of the radar, the need for a third-party everything to have the information that most other sims give right from the start is, I don't know, it kind of bothers me. That also, like, granted, I can't say much with how some of the recent league races have gone as well, but The driving standards in iRacing, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, but you're trying to do that while driving as well. Like, it's easier in VR and stuff like that for those that have it, but it's just not for me. Yeah, but the hardcore sim should have the features that every other sim has. Anyway, topic for a different debate for a different time. Oh, okay, there we go. Through the twisty bits. It's just not for me. Yeah, but trying to manage the button presses on the wheel and having extra buttons bound for that is just a bit of a pain, especially when you gotta go through your black box and everything as well, and it's just, I don't know. It's it feels messy. I don't quite like it. It's just not for me. I gave it an honest try, but it's just not for me. Much prefer ACC. Ooh, wait. Can we do it? Yes, we have. Okay. We have done a 100% victory run of the hardest league in the game. In one of the slowest cars in the game as well. GG. Let's go. Oh my gosh. That car, the Aero Flash is genuinely a bit of a piece of shit. Let's be real. No top speed, no boost. It's got good acceleration and plenty of grip, but it is not a quick car. Holy moly. Yeah, yeah, it's just not for me. All right, let's see. All right, pony up. So lower speed, lower. Oh, this isn't gonna be a good one either. Maybe for C-bumps we can borrow. So I'm gonna try one of the other GT3s. Nah, like I said, I like the way the cars drive in it. Like the regular like lapping and everything like that. It's enjoyable. It's fun. Like the physics are, you know, quite good. Which is why I said, like, you know, if they ever make like a pure like rally, point-to-point rally game and everything, like I'd be down for that, because like the physics are and the content they create is good stuff there. It's just the other stuff outside of the physics and content is not to my liking. Bonk. There we go. Nice and easy. Up in a second. And this one's gonna be a little bit more of a tricky one. It's not quite. It's got a little bit more top speed, but not by much. And we lose out on the grip as well. So we're not gonna be all that quick around the corners either. This is one of the cool ones. This is one of the ones that was changed in from the movie to the game. In the movie, it was just a fourth generation Pontiac Firebird, but they changed it to the muscle inspired Pony Up instead, and it's not bad. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I forgot both of those, the L2 and R2 are boost. I'm so used to L2 being a look back button. It's R1 that's look back. Okay, gotcha. So managed to make it work. I will take that. Yeah, we're not gonna be breaking like any major records with this car, but we'll be all right. We will be a-okay. All right, next one, Satellite City. One of the space ones. I always love the space one. The space tracks. They're just the colors and the vibrant atmosphere. Plus that you turn really quick laps in them as well, so the races are like, you know, especially in multiplayer, the races are quite high intense. Before Isaac becomes a Hot Wheels speedrunner. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't think I'd be all that quick with regards to speedrunner. Daytona 500. Oh gosh, the roulette, the super speedway roulette. I'll be honest though, I'm not a big fan of IRL super speedway racing either. Like, I got a lot of respect for Talladega and Daytona, especially Daytona, with the historical significance of those tracks. But in terms of like the actual racing, it's very much, it's a lot more, like, yeah, you need a little bit of skill, you need a little bit of strategy, but it's so much more luck-based compared to like any other type of racing. And I personally kind of hate that type of stuff. Like, I like it being more like lap time skill based and everything. Unless it's the only kind of left turns I seem to be somewhat competent in. Yeah. It's tricky for sure. Because like it's one of those things where, because it's easy to lap, it's easy for everybody, and everyone is just like absolutely like, you know, full speeding it, not thinking, and it just turns into a mess more often than not. Yeah, it's a bit about teamwork. It's about being in the right place at the right time. It's about avoiding the bullshit, conserving fuel, and just waiting for like the last 20 laps and everything. Like, it's one of those ones where you don't want to be up front. You want to be like second or third in like the bottom lane and just, you know, pushing. But yeah, it's, oh gosh. Like, I know people like the super high speeds and everything, but like it's not quite my style of racing. Like, gonna spin a Hot Wheels for I don't know, maybe not, but it's one of those things where like I have enough of the mechanical knowledge of like especially the 3 PS2 era games that were made by THQ, the World Race, Velocity X, and Sun Track Challenge, and like I could probably set a solid time. Plus, they're short enough you can do it with most of them in like one sitting without too much issue. You can barely hit 200 miles an hour in the next gens. Yeah, a lot lower power. Plus, all the aero drag on them as well basically means you have just a massive pack. It also makes it very, very difficult to get a run on your opponents as well. Because once you pull out of the draft, like, it's basically like getting into, like, you get a parachute essentially. Like, essentially, if you're pulling out of the draft to like make a big move late race, you need to have someone pushing you and everything. Yeah, they are absolute bricks. They're great for road course racing, and they do solid short track and cookie cutter stuff. But like anything larger than the 1.5 mile tracks is like genuinely terrible. To have the golly pull-out game. Yeah. Pull-out game is strong. Good luck if I do it. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm not even sure how to do speedrunning. Like, obviously you need to like record, like have like a recording of like, you know, the gameplay and all that stuff probably. And probably like a timer setup too. Something like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, the speed. There we go. All nice and solid. I like the little diegetic sounds as well of all the stuff. All the cool stuff you hear as you're going by. All the different things making noise. It's just really cool. Like for a budget early PS2 children's game based around a children's movie, based around a children's toy, like they did not have to go nearly as hard as they did with the game, but like it's a very competent anti-grav racer with the Hot Wheels skin on it. Yeah, weak pull-out game. Pull-out game weak. Nah, it's genuinely because I don't like pack racing. It's literally that. I like if you ever watch like the opening laps to a lot of like your V-Track and track races and everything. Like even before this year where I'm in a little bit of a slump, like I would always be very, very cautious, a little bit slower compared to a lot of my opponents. And so I'd usually lose out like a position or two versus my qualifying position. And then gradually make it up through like undercuts or pit strategy or just consistency versus other people going balls to the wall and spinning. So it's one of those things, but that's once, you know, I get a bit of clear air and I'm able to, you know, I don't want to say hot lap, but essentially then focus on like racing like one or two people as opposed to being in a massive pack of cars. Yeah, big dick energy. See, I try to do that and I end up getting a penalty or I end up getting like wrecked. Like it's one of those things where like I'm just not him. All right, that one's stale. All right, that's one way to have a jump go wrong. Oh, thankfully there's plenty of rings here, so I should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I keep doing tripping over you and dick. Yeah, dick too big. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just hoping for a clean run at Imola, because I'm already at a very high amount of penalty points for genuinely stupid stuff as well. One of which I literally had just nowhere to go, and I just, oh well, tis what tis. Instructions unclear. Dick has become third leg. Yep. I mean, it's a bit of downforce, I guess. There we go. All right, up into the lead. Final lap. Give us our flames. We only get one unit of one flames instead of 2 flames this race. Beat everything perfectly, you can get 2 flames, which definitely improves your overall race time. Additional ballast. I got BOP'd with a large schlong. Land it. There we go. Perfect landing. No second flames though. I need one more unit of that combo in order to get the flames. There we go. Pass the cube. Pass Tesla's cube. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, me shouting at the Suez for not tying it down properly because they kept crashing aces. Yeah, it's oh gosh. I mean, it just kept messing up big time. I mean, that was the one at Monza, you know. Oh yeah, and you were in the Audi too, right? I think. Gosh, that car. Whoever designed that car, because it's, I've driven that car in multiple sims now, and it is genuine dog water in every single sim. Like, I've driven in an ACC, it's crap. I've driven in an iRacing, it's crap. I've driven in a regular Assetto Corsa, it's crap. I've driven it in R3E, race room racing experience. It's crap there. Got that thing into the top, but yeah, because with the longer races, you and I have that advantage where we have the a lot more of the staying power, and also like we are able to strategize a lot better than other people. Other people are like, well, I'm out of fuel, time to pit. Whereas we're like, okay, I still have a little bit of fuel, but like I know I'm gonna get caught up with traffic soon. So like we oh, bugger off, stale. No flames this time around. So we you know, we were able to kind of do our overcuts or undercuts and all that stuff a lot better. Yeah, and then just sending it as well. Oh, the Audi is a genuine piece of crap though. That being said, I have a running bet with Song. Song is planning on running the Rider in the final TGT race at Kyalami. And especially with my luck currently in TGT, with getting both at both at Paul Ricard and Brand Sash are getting taken out first turn, lap 1, turn 1. I made a bet with him that if he beats me in the Rider at Kyalami, I have to drive the Rider all next season for both Track GT and V-Track. That is the current running bet. Do I be a menace in the Audi? I mean, you're welcome to. You just gotta make sure you do your pre-quali. But like, Kyalami is such a good track. I wish Kyalami was in more racing sims. It is unironically like a top 5 track. It is a top 5 track for me, at least in ACC, but probably even like overall as well. Like, yeah, especially with like the Kyalami, the 8 hours, 9 hours of Kyalami, like being like a major GT3 race, you know. Like, I think that would be a pretty cool special event, even if I personally am not a fan of iRacing. Like, that would be a cool special event to have. Trying to explain that fighting game terms. What do you mean I need to press 4 to defend? Pressing 4 on my keyboard and my character does nothing. Oh. Are you pressing it on the, You need to press it on a number pad instead. Oh gosh, prototypes would die at Cheetah. Prototypes would genuinely die at Cheetah. Like, it's sketchy enough in a GT3. Prototypes would genuinely get murdered at Cheetah. 4 is just back. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the Audi LP1, because that's got so much downforce, you could take it at an awkward angle without needing to cut the turbo. But like the other cars, it's so sketchy. It's so sketchy. Because you gotta just barely graze the brakes in order to get it to turn in. But you don't want to hit the brakes too hard because you lose so much speed. But you don't want to like hit the brakes not enough, because then you run wide into the pea gravel. And the car will usually get hooked to the right side wall. And if that happens, you are SOL, because that's usually a meatball. 9 times out of 10, that's a meatball. we go. Keep giving us more units of flames. The cool thing with Mist Mountain is there's a section where you have so many jumps in a row that you can quite literally get your flames, and before your first flames are run out, you can get a second thing of flames. Granted, the first half of the course has a lot fewer jumps, so you can't, it's almost impossible to get 3 in a row. But 2 in a row is very, very doable. And the car is very, very nice when doing that. Now I've been wondering, okay, well what do the flames do and how do you get them? So if you look at the top, whenever I go over the jumps, there's a button combination I need to press, depending on if I do flips or twists or what have you. And as long as I do that combo and land the jump, I get another unit. Tuner is very doable. I mean, maybe when I was a little bit younger. Maybe when I was a little bit of a younger lad. Nowadays, I need a little bit of my rest. Maybe at the start of December, 2 in a row is still doable, but you know. Otherwise, bro, you're barely my time. Dude, I'm 20. I'm 28. I'm 28. I'm almost out of my 20s. I am old. Wait, am I 28? No, I turned 28 this year. I'm 27. I feel 28. God, 2024. 2024, I feel like I aged a decade in a single year with just everything that happens. Oh my word, 2024 was a rough year. It was weird, like during like Christmas and New Year's, when things kind of finally slowed down for me last year. It was one of those things where, oh, a little bit of frame lag there. I sat down, and it was one of those things where you ever run, like, you ever do like your distance running and everything like that, and you're running, and you're running, but like you feel tired, but you're still holding on, you know, you're like, I can do this, and then like you go to sit down after you're done running, and then like you go to get back up and you're like, oh shit, okay, holy moly. That was kind of how like my Christmas and New Year's felt. I'm feeling a lot better now, but like, holy moly, that was an experience, I think. 2019 was the worst year for me. It was 5 years. Ripperoni and cheese, man. Well, yeah, it was like one of those things where you do get used to it, but even then, like, you do like the long distance stuff, like, longer than you're used to anyway. And then you stop, you know, you take a break, and then you're like, oh, pain. From 2019 to 2025, like, did nothing. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably have a little bit of that consensus as well. Just because, like, with the COVID and all that stuff as well, it kind of messes up your sense of time and all of that. Lot of crazy stuff just going on. Just talking about my life out on a therapy session. Oh no. I don't have the leather couch for people to lay on and everything for that. Alright, through the hairpin. Thankfully the flames do give more grip too, which is nice. 2010 I was probably still good. 2010 I was 13, 14, yeah, 13-ish. Enough to kind of have an understanding of how kind of crazy things were then. But like, nah, you know, I could kind of ignore it a little bit. Looking back there, like I kind of realized how rough some things were as well, but it didn't quite affect me at the time. Oh, I screamed my life to berserk. Oh no. At least, do you at least get the funny meme skeletons? Do you at least get the funny please tell me you get the funny meme skeletons at least. I didn't hook up like the hot. No! Tanned, muscular, tomboy supremacy. Like, come on. I'm forgetting the reference. It's the skeletons, and they're all like, it's used as a reaction image. But in the actual Berserk, it's like more so like they're surrounded by like, you know, hordes of the undead and everything. I got memes and a gay person after me. All I can say is don't do it in crazy. Don't do it. You might lose a kidney or two. The succubi will suck you dry, you know? Ow. More like my personnel is the skeletons I'm always making jokes. Skelly bros. I guess you have a bone to pick with people. That's bad, Isaac. Why are you like this? Why are you like this, Isaac? I don't know, Isaac. Why am I like this? Explain my motivation and depression. Legit haven't been in a relationship in like 16 years though. Yeah, it's probably tough out there as well. Like the dating scene, I imagine, is probably quite tough. Very, very competitive with like the advent of like the online dating and all of that too. Makes it a little bit tricky because you got a lot more competition, and two, it's a lot more, dare I say, superficial for first impressions. I said the folks that are depressed as Sec over the water, so if they didn't get the red PS5. Yeah, different priorities, I guess. Like, my life was definitely a little bit of a mixed bag. Like, I had some ups, I had some downs, some struggles, some good moments. But like, I think I turned out, well, I can't have turned out too good. I became a VTuber. And an engineer, but like, other than that, like, I think I did okay with what I was given. Thereabouts anyway. Up into the walls. Gotta be at least a little bit messed up to be a VTuber, right? The people who have for the first world problems always get super depressed. And then those of us who kind of struggle a bit more are like, it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I've kind of figured I could have had it better, but I could have had it worse. It is what it is. Can't change it now. Just gotta try to make do with what I got and everything. You know, like, yeah, I went through some rough times, like had cancer, death of family members, all that stuff. But on the same token, like, you know, yeah, I had some good times too. Got closer with family and everything like that. Almost up back a lot. Yeah, I can imagine. Bonk. Oh, flames. Give me them flames. Gonna be boiling the water with the flames. I need my flames. There we go. Land it. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. There we go. I want to make sure we get the good landings. Up onto the wall. Oh, no boost there. Got boost here though. So that's all good. Now I gotta catch up to the muscle tone. Muscle car, fictional muscle car versus fictional muscle car. Although the muscle tone definitely looks a lot closer to what the modern muscle cars could be. I think I'm still a solid looking car though. I think it looks quite nice. I wish you could see the front of it though. You only get to see the front of the car really when you're looking at it when the vehicle select screen, and then when you win the championship. I gotta read Berserk to really get it, but Guts. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like Berserk is definitely set in very much a grim dark world as well, where everything you kind of sucks a little bit. Oh boy. Easy. Land it. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Bonk. Grimodal, that's Modern Planet Earth 2. I mean, there's also some positives. It's at very least like one of those things where, you know, if you get lucky, you can. In the like Grimdark, it's basically one of those things where if you get lucky, you survive the world. Here, it's you know, if you get lucky, you can, you know, change the world for the better and everything. I probably put in like Grim Bright probably. World is still probably not great, but at least you can make a much more positive impact on the world. Look at Demons of the Human Variety here on Earth. Yeah. But it's one of those things where, like, the average person has at least a little bit more of an impact versus, like, in your typical grimdark settings, where, at best, you can hope that, you know, the world doesn't break you instead. You can at least have a more positive impact on a lot of other people's lives as well. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for the GGs. Alright, next one. Gimme the ice. Oh no, pyramids. Egyptian dunes. The only one to directly mention that this is one on Earth and two in Egypt. We got Techno Egypt. Oh, the advanced technological hieroglyphics. China's like playing G2 in the highest setting. Yeah, certain other cities and areas are probably very similar. Where it's basically you either have like the massive authoritarianism or absolute lawlessness. It's like Vegas with odds. I mean that's just what's it call it? That's just Macau then. I don't know any city similar to China. Well, I mean, similar, like very different in terms of like authoritarianism versus other stuff. But like there are other areas where there's still plenty dangerous, for sure. Like you got like a lot of like the South African cities now with the rising tensions in there and everything. It's pretty high crime and everything. Yeah, okay. Without being scanned, yeah, that part's difficult, but like. Yeah. I don't know, there are other places I wouldn't quite want to live. Like, yeah, Pyongyang. However you pronounce it in North Korea, the capital of North Korea. That's also probably very dangerous to live in, too. Oh no, I have been banned from North Korea. See what the plastic food is. Well, yeah. Yeah, that stuff probably also messes with people too. And this is why you always gotta take like the goods and the bads with like wherever you live and everything. Try to improve. Try to, you know, appreciate the goods and. With the bads, do what you can to try to mitigate or, you know, make them a little bit better and everything. Yeah, North Korea's probably the only place is bad or worse than China outside of the landlocked place. Maybe Russia too. I don't know, definitely definitely a few countries where it's pretty. It's got to be rough for people living there and everything for sure. Either you have the massive authoritarianism where you have like the massive kind of lawlessness and everything like that. Russia isn't it? I mean, I'm glad we timed that right. Very heavily sanctioned internet and everything. At least I'm thinking of it as no internet. Yeah, Russia's also not landlocked either. What's the place you're thinking of? My mind is blanking. My mind is blanking. My geography isn't geography. Oh, also, I've been thinking about what challenge I want to do after doing the All Cars Hardest Championship Hot Wheels World Race Challenge. I've been thinking I want to do a playthrough of Midnight Club 3, but only using prize cars, and of course the starter car as well, to play through that. I think that would be genuinely pretty fun to do. So I think that'll be the next challenge. Because normally, you know, you buy certain vehicles at certain times and you try to buy like the meta, or even if you don't think about it, you do try to buy the vehicles with a little bit more oomph to them. That way, you know, you don't struggle nearly as much, especially because Midnight Club 3, well, not nearly as hard as 1 or 2. It's still a pretty challenging game. Like, if you're not careful, if you do not know that game, it will kick you in the balls. But yeah, it is. I think doing a challenge run of that, I need to figure out what I need to do in order. Because I bet there's a certain order to doing things, both in the main career mode and in the Tokyo challenge, that'll give me the vehicles I need to make the run a little bit easier. But it'll still be fun. But yeah, that'll be a fun run, I think, because I'll probably use vehicles that I don't normally use in a run. In of Midnight Club 3, like the Hot Match Corvito, the Chrysler 300C, the Escalade truck, the dub edition version of that. You know, trying to make do with whatever prize cars you can, and really going after like some of those Class A prize cars as well. Especially because I frequently use the McLaren F1 as like one of my main cars as well in that game. I got all the stars in the National B events in GT6 last night. Ooh, nice! Very, very nice. Big congrats on that. Also finished the weekly GT7 today. Yeah, probably during the off season I might get back into Gran Turismo 7. I probably won't play it on stream as much, but I'll at least be doing like the weekly events and try to grind up for more of like the cars and everything. Because I haven't played it much since I started streaming. Like, I think it's been a little over a year since I last played it. I don't know, I might want to go back into that. I think that'd be kind of fun as like an off stream thing for me to do. So I haven't really played, outside of practicing for like ACC and like the occasional iRacing thing, I haven't really played too many games off stream. Just between work and all that stuff. I've been just very, very busy. I got a love-hate relationship with GT7. Like, it does the driving, especially for like a simcade and everything. The driving, the track variety, you know, the amount of vehicles it has, the graphics. It is genuinely like chef's kiss, top notch. If it had a better career mode, it would be definitely my top, at least my top 3 Gran Turismo games. The country I'm talking about is Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan. I've not even heard of that. Let me look that up real quick. Turkmenistan, a country in Central Asia. Turkmenistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia bordered by Kazakhstan. I know that one. And Uzbekistan. I know about that one. And Afghanistan to the southeast. Okay. And Iran to the south of south. Okay, I know where that is. It's one of the 6 independent Turkic states with a population of over 7 million. Jeez, that's a big state. Turkmenistan is the 35th most populous country in Asia and has the lowest population of the Central Asian republics. So even with that many people, it's the lowest populated country. Jeez. While being one of the most sparsely populated nations of the Asian continent. Interesting. Huh. Video games ban, internet, dogs, facial hair, and men, black cars. I can understand video game and internet, you know, for promoting cultural degeneracy or whatever. I can maybe understand dogs if they're considered. I'm not. It's been a while for my Islamic studies. I've not really studied much of other religions too much since I was in college. I probably should get back into that. But if dogs are kind of seen as potentially like a bit more dirty, then I could kind of understand that from a cultural point of view, even if I disagree with it. Long hair on men, I could kind of maybe-ish lip syncing. Okay, the black cars and lip syncing, I don't quite understand. I still prefer 2 and 5. Can't say better than 6 because I haven't finished it yet. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's better than the first game. Oh yeah, like 7... I don't know, 7 is one of those things where it's got like really, really high highs and really, really low lows. Like the constant chase the rabbit racing in 7 is kind of annoying. But like the actual driving and some of like the harder races, especially the ones with like Sophie, genuinely pretty solid. I actually quite like Sophie. Like she's quite quick as a as like an AI driver and everything. But it's hard for me to place it because every time I think one thing, then I'm like, yeah, but it does this really well as well. And I'm torn. I'm very much torn on GT7. It's why it genuinely, especially for the longest time, but even now, it does frustrate me quite a bit. I just think it's great that GT1 is the biggest one because every game after is improved upon its foundation. Yeah, for sure. Like, it just goes to show, like, that at least they were able, even if they had some missteps along the way, like, they still are producing very, very solid games, which I can appreciate. Oh, I failed that. Oh, you melons. Okay, that's gonna hurt us bad. That's gonna hurt us really, really bad. Oh, it's on this side that the rings exist. All right, come on. We got one more lap. Okay. We can make up some grounds. We can make up some ground, I think, still. They're on the other side of the twist, but they're not that far ahead. We're gaining on them. Thankfully, the game does have a little bit of rubber band AI, so if you make big mistakes like that earlier on in a race, you are able to get back some time. But if you make too many mistakes, they still do pull away. Like, first is way out there. But we are gaining on second. Oh, it's our teammate. It is our teammate. Alright, come on. Land it. There we go. Alright, this will give me more boost to get ahead. That's why I go onto the wall. You see the pace difference there. The wall, even if you lose a little bit of speed going up the wall, it's fast because you got the boost pad. Which is really, really helpful. Alright, there we go. We got 4 races left. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get ready to rumble. I went from the Let's Get Ready to Rumble song to the Jellyfish Jam. Oh, Isaac, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Isaac? But no, genuine question. Why the black car ban? I'm gonna look it up after this race because that is still like piqued my curiosity. Like, is it because it's only like government officials can have black cars and it'd be considered like impersonating a government official or something? Like, I wanna know like what the reasoning behind that is. Like, I doubt it's like purely arbitrary, but it is probably still for like a pretty silly reason. I gotta see that. Oh well, we will get to that after this race. We got the second of the pyramid runs, called pyramid run, going, and we got a whole lot of racing to do still. Gosh, this car is so nice. I do like the pony up car. Big front nose, big front engine machine. There we go. Land it. Bonk. Alright, come on. Big push, big push. Alright, you want to go to the left because this is the one that goes inside. This is the one that goes through the loop. Get out of the hot sun. Take this shortcut. Alright, back out into the sunshine. Boink. Nice shot. Thank you, Mitsina. It's been a while. How have you been? Hope you're well. Right now, we're doing a challenge on a Hot Wheels World Race. Getting every single car. Okay, good. That one isn't stale. I probably should have flipped. Oh well. Oh well. We'll get this working. We'll have to take the long way around. I'm not. Oh, I did take it. Okay, that's fine. We opened up the pathway to our doom. I'm doing pretty good. I've been enjoying playing Hot Wheels World Race past couple of weeks. It's been a fun challenge run. We're basically going through the hardest championship in every single vehicle. We've already done the Wave Rippers team. We've done the Squitches team. We're most of the way through the Street Breed team as well, which mostly has like your exotics and tuners and stuff like that. Oh, okay, good. That's still didn't close on us. And then we have the Road Beasts and the Dune Rats as the last 2 teams after that. And it's gonna be fun. Get to drive all the cars. Definitely figured out that grip. The grip stat is definitely the best stat to have in the game. Followed closely by the top speed stats. 100% you want that top the grip stat and the top speed stat. This car has kind of middling both, and you see like it is a little bit difficult gaining ground and catching up to the rest of the opponents. So you gotta be really careful not to mess this up. Gotta make sure we take all the shortcuts. There we go. Cross the line. Victory! Man, our teammate for the Street Breed, he's back down in fourth. Very slow in the Hot Wheels Prototype 12. Bit of a shame that one, because the Prototype 12 is an absolutely cool looking car. Love the look of it. very nice. But yeah, most of the Hot Wheels cars around this time are pretty cool. Though some designs were a little bit interesting. Like I didn't really like the cartoonish proportions of some of the special edition cars. Like you had some like the hard nose and the fat backs, the bling, and there was like one more. But they were like all like super misshapen, hyper deformed Hot Wheels cars. The hard nose are the worst because like you had the itty bitty like chassis part of the car with an absolutely massive engine sticking out of them, and it looked a little bit silly. I wasn't a big fan of those. Fatbacks at least look kind of cool because they at least look like they were like an absolutely ridiculous like drag car. And blings were... I never had a bling, so I never really got a chance to try them out much. You couldn't race them on like any of the regular tracks or anything like that. So, hello Captain. Hey Sprockets, welcome. I hope you're well. We're almost done the championship. One of the hardest championship in the game. Working our way through the Street Breed cars now. This is our bit of a nose stand there. Bit of an endo from the muscle tone there. Just out of curiosity, did you guys ever have any favorite Hot Wheels cars, either growing up or now? Any designs that you know really liked and everything like that? I always had a bit of a soft spot for the muscle tone and the MST Suzuki were two of my favorites as a kid. I really like the look of those. It's a shame that they're unlocked super early in Velocity X as well, because those aren't really usable or not really that feasible in the late game. You can still beat the game with the starter cars and everything, but it's a lot more difficult. That'd be an interesting challenge as well. Going through the Velocity X story mode. Why am I going this way? I already went this way. Going through the Velocity X story mode with only like the starter cars. That'd be an interesting challenge as well. Maybe after the Midnight Club 3 challenge. There we go. Boom. Alright, not too many more. Gonna go one more lap. Give us some flames. Give us that top speed. And we want to go to the right. This will take us upside down through the tunnels in the water. Oh man, the early 2000s and having the clear underwater tunnels was like super common, because Need for Speed 2 had it in, I believe, Aquatica. Was it Aquatica? Need for Speed 2 had it. Maybe it was 3 that had it. One of the early Need for Speeds had it. Both Hot Wheels World Race and Velocity X had it. Freaking Cruising USA, not Cruising USA, Cruising the World. Cruising World had it. Like, there was a lot of racing games where you drove through essentially a clear tunnel under the water where you get to see like all the Like the creatures and everything going by. Just really, really cool. I quite like that aesthetic. I guess it's the same with like a lot of like the early racing games. Had a lot of desert tracks with a military base on it. Like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 had it. With a couple of their tracks in the Outback world. Corvette, the Corvette PS2 game had it. Ford Racing 2 had it. What else? What else had it? Those are the three off the top of my head. Like, it was somewhat common as well. Like, if you had a desert track, there's a high chance to put like an Air Force or a military base or something like that. Which is pretty fun, pretty interesting, pretty funny. Boink, boink, and boink. There we go. Oh, hi there. Ow. Can you not? Can you not? Can you not? Or maybe you can. Can you can? There we go. Alright, up in the third. We got a waiver boost car. And it looks like it's hard to tell. I can't see their lights. I'm just barely... Oh, okay, we got a Scorcher's car up ahead as well. The muscle tone. So muscle car versus muscle car. We got the superior muscle car. As much as I love muscle toned, this is our car, so it makes it superior. So let's do this through the crossover. Oh gosh. we got a little bit of a helping hand there, a little bit of a ride from our opponent. I've never actually landed on top of another driver like that before. I've been kind of messed up a little bit with some of the cars and everything. Going over the jumps, or both of us did like a twist or something like that. But I've never seen us land on a car before, I think. There we go. Land it. Good yard, good stuff. There we go. Alright, nice and smooth. I only got 10 more rings to collect. Not sure where they are, but we will find them shortly. I'd imagine. Oh yeah, they're in the second jump up ahead. Right. Oh, you. Okay. One more lap to get all those rings. We can do this. Someone's gonna unlock that. There we go. Boink. There we go. Alright, we're great. We get more flames. Okay. Gotta make sure we do a flip. For the fun stuff to get those last bits of rings. Alright, that's fine. No matter what, we'll have the boost then to get to the second jump. Alright, not too much further. Yeah, there goes our flames. Managed to get the last pretty long. Alright. Through the twisties. And here we go. Yes! And this will allow us to get all the rings here. Somehow that counted as perfect, even though we landed on a bum. I'll take it. I will gladly take it. Alright, one more race for this car. One more race. Let's do it. I like the Funny Cars Pro stock cars. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're definitely, with regards to drag racing, I much prefer the street cars and the pro street cars more than anything else. As those ones, you know, they're basically cars that were taken, you know, from the road and turned into drag cars as opposed to purpose-built, you know, the purpose-built, you know, tube frame silhouette racers. Granted, the sheer speed they're able to reach is really cool. But I love me my pro street and my regular street cars. Those are cool, especially with bracket racing. Because you have pretty much every kind of shape, size, and type of vehicle. And any one of them could win. It basically comes down to who knows their vehicle better. Like that is my like bread and butter for drag racing is the street car bracket racing. You can show up in your work truck, you can show up in a beat up Chevy Cavalier, and you can get it to like the semifinals. I've seen it done. Because they just knew their car. And so they're like, well, I may as well run like a cheap, you know, a Econo box or whatever. And like they beat people with, you know, more built vehicles because they just knew how well it would perform and everything. Like it was some really cool stuff seeing that type of stuff. You know, you see people running like 9s up against people running like 16s. And you're like, oh, okay, damn. And the people running 16s would win because they were able to get like within like 100th of their, you know, predicted time without going under and breaking out, which is always really, really cool to see. Yeah, you still see tuners, mostly like your Civics. Mostly, if you see tuners, it's mostly like your Civics or like your R35 GTRs or like that type of stuff. Like that never went away. As long as you can make big power, people are still doing it. Although, at least in my neck of the woods, there's a lot more of a preference for your basically taking an American body on frame chassis car or an American Econo box car from like the 70s and 80s, like your Ford Pintos, your AMC Gremlins, all of that stuff. Gutting it, tubing it out as well, putting on the big slicks, and then swapping in like an LS or like another big block GM or Ford V8 into it, and then basically running that. That's kind of like the main scene of the drag racing stuff where I'm at is like a lot of those American 70s and 80s cars, either your big like Ford LTDs or your economy, like your Chevy Monzas or like your AMC Pacers or your Pintos, your Mustang 2s with a massive blower sticking out the front, you know, out of the hood and everything. Just that type of stuff. Or you have your larger, you know, like I said, your Ford LTDs, your 70s Monte Carlos, your occasionally you'll see your Chevy C10s, I think it is. Like that type of stuff, all stripped down for drag racing. The S10 gets used a lot too, from the 90s. I mean, for the time, it was definitely a very quick hot hatch. It had some solid power. It was pretty lightweight. Though compared to a lot of modern performance offerings, it's, you know, it doesn't seem like as much now. But back then, you know, during the 80s, they managed to put a lot of power out of a fairly low displacement with their turbocharging and all of that stuff. It could still probably hold its own with some mods and stuff like that now, but you probably at its limits, you probably reach its limit of performance without doing an engine swap a lot quicker than modern inline 4 turbo cars. Just because, you know, you gotta deal with your OBD1 rubbish, which is a pain to work around, plus also less tech and everything to upgrade and all that stuff. There we go. We got time for like two or three more races, I think. Yeah, at least get started with the final car, the Hot Wheels Prototype 12. And then we can end the stream, I think. Elites. Yeah, oh gosh. No grip, high boost, high acceleration, moderate speed. Alright, this one's gonna be a tough one. This one's gonna be a handful, I think, in terms of the driving. Basically all power, no handling. Oh boy. We got our work cut out for us, chat. Holy moly. Alright, let's do this. So let's just do like... I got two... Oh, right. I forgot. Hang on a sec. I want to look up why black cars are banned in Turkey. Why are black cars banned? Why are black cars banned in Turkmenistan? Drivers of dark-colored cars in Ashgabat have reportedly had the cars towed to a government lot. Upon retrieval, ordered to repaint the vehicles white or silver, according to the Chronicles of Turkmenistan. An opinion website, as of January 8, 2018, black cars have been banned in Turkmenistan. There's no official announcement, but that individuals reported having been ordered to repaint their cars. What? The winners have been banned since 2014. Authoritarian, but understandable-ish. And in 2015, Ashgabat banned the import of black cars. There's also restrictions put on engine size for imports. Unacceptable! Riots in the streets! Give me a displacement or no replacement. That is weird. Apparently there's no official reason. It's just because they can. Okay. I was thinking like maybe it like, you know, is you know, potentially it could be considered like a government car or whatever. But no, looking at it, all the government cars are like, and a lot of the government leaders prefer the color white as well, or like white and gold. So like, why ban black colored cars? That doesn't... I genuinely don't know. What kind of bullshittery is that? Like, without getting too much into like the politics and all that stuff, like at least try to have some reasoning, right? Even if it's a silly or a stupid reason, like at least have people be like, okay, I can see where you're coming from. But like, no, literally, it's just they're getting their cars towed. Like, okay. I was expecting some sort of reason, but like, maybe like maybe environmental because like, or maybe it gets hot or something. I don't know. Something. Some reason. And like the black cars contribute to like a heat island effect in urban areas, or I don't know. But like, it's literally just because we can. Like, excuse me, what the fuck? What the fuck? What? That literally doesn't even make any sense. I was expecting something of substance, but no, apparently they don't like the color black. It's okay. Bloodwolf, welcome. I hope you're well. They've only got a few races, probably this race and one more race, I think, before we end this stream, as it is getting late and I need to do some practice for Immalok this coming weekend. Hopefully you're well though, hopefully things are all good. Alright, Speedy. We're on the final of the street breed cars as well, so we'll be driving this some more next time we stream this game. And then going to, I think the road beasts would go next. Because they got some cool exotic and muscle cars as well. 50-50? I mean, that's better than being 0-100, right? That's better than being 0-100, but hopefully you get better, man. Have you started the new job yet? I think you said you started the new job. Hopefully it's going well for you. Pay is good, work hours are good, co-workers are all good and everything. Alright, there we go. Give me them rings. Give me the rings. Oh, give me some turning. This thing has no grip on the continuous corners. It's got some crazy boost from the using the boost. But like it just does not like the turn. And like you see, like it holds its boost for a very long time when coming off of the boost pads too. Like it is very, very quick in a straight line. But it does not like turning. Girlfriend's still in the hospital and she needs surgery. Oh no. Oh, it's a hit and run too. Jeez. Man, hopefully she's alright. Hopefully she's able to, like, you know, maybe sue the person that crashed into her and everything. Get some money out of that. Like that, I'm not usually one for like litigation and all that stuff, but like someone, you know, causes injury or harm to you, genuine injury or harm, and then tries to leave and everything. One, that's a felony. And two, like, bruh, you at least pay for my hospital bills and like the time I lost off of work and everything. But hey, glad you got the job though. Hopefully your shifts go well and all that stuff. Hopefully all that's good. Yeah, we got time for. But I'll do 2 more races. 2 more races after this. There we go. That way I'm not just ending the stream right as someone comes in. I try to avoid doing that. Because it makes me feel a little bit bad. Someone's like, oh, I gotta catch the stream. And like, it's right as they're ending. And I'm like, oh, whoops. Alrighty, come on. Give me my speed. There we go, perfect. I haven't even apprehended the person yet. Ah, oh, man. That is rough, man. Hopefully they catch them. Like, I'd imagine there was some witnesses, traffic cameras, something that probably got like a plate and all that stuff. Otherwise, that's gotta be absolutely dreadful, though. Ow. I got taken out by my own teammate. There we go. Oh no, okay. That's fine. The second jump doesn't need a boost. And we already have the full Nitrox 2 canister again. There we go. Get past the Zodic. There we go. Get all these. Get all the rings. And this car is at least pretty solid for a car without a whole lot of grip and everything. It does well enough. Though I do hear the Zodic behind me, and that one's gonna be a tough one to beat, I think. That one also has some pretty solid top speed, some good, but it's got that good handling too, if memory serves correctly. There, give me them flames. Give me more of a boost. Nice. Alright, one more race. Go to Tesla's Cube. Gimme the cube, boy! Sam, don't give him the cube. Give me the cube. The thing I can do for her, but I don't know now. Yeah, that's tough. Cause like, it's not much you can do. Like, you know, like the you know, be with her and everything. I mean, that's a tough one. Cause right now she's just kind of waiting until she can, you know, fully recover and everything, get back to work and, you know, hopefully get, you know, her car fixed and all that stuff. But like, without the insurance and everything, she's gonna be hurt. She's gonna be hurting with regards to that. Ah, people are the worst sometimes. Like, I get accidents happen, you know, sometimes you get into a car crash, you know, mistakes are made, lapse of judgment, all of that stuff. It's not pleasant, but like, it happens, you know, especially if you weren't really doing anything wrong, or you had like just a, you know, got distracted for a split second and all that stuff. But to then leave, especially if someone's been injured, like that is scummy, you know? That's pretty. That's not nice. That's very mean. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, send her like a virtual card, or like maybe, you know, something like that. Maybe just kind of like a you know, a good morning text. You know, say, hey, I'm, you know, I've been keeping in my thoughts and everything, hoping you you recover and all that stuff. Oh, okay. So at least her car's alright. But still, that's so. Then they should know better that someone was injured. You ran over a person. Jeez. I hit my mom one time and the guy tried to leave. It happens. Yeah, people be scummy. Thankfully, I've never been at fault in an accident, but like, if I ever was, like, I wouldn't just up and leave. Vulture's just trying to get a big payout by riding with her to the hospital. Ah. I was the last one to know, and I was so mad because everyone. Oh, so you found out like super late too. Damn. Yeah, that's the other thing is like, bro, if you're gonna drive, if you're gonna make yourself responsible for driving a car, you should have insurance. It is best practice to have insurance. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get my insurance bill soon. I need to pay for that soon. It's gonna come in the mail probably sometime this coming up week, so I need to make sure I do that. My mom, she was stupid because she was gonna go home after being hit by a car. At least get checked out on the scene. Even if you want to refuse the ambulance ride or maybe have someone else take you to the hospital because, you know, that type of stuff. At least get checked out by medical professionals on the scene first. He tried to punch the guy who hit him. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with that, but I do say I understand. Like, especially with like the adrenaline and all that stuff after being, you know, hit by a car and everything. You know, like, I've nearly been hit by a car twice, and I have been quite livid both times. So imagine actually getting hit by a car. You have the pain, you have the shock, the surprise of, oh my gosh, this idiot just hit me. Like, yeah, I would be quite angry. My uncle was drunk and he was crossing and jaywalking in the middle of the green. Oh, okay, that one's a little bit more on him. Yeah. That one's a little bit more on him. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Adachi's like, you gotta... If you were too inebriated to, like, you know, walk home and everything, get a cab or get a friend or someone to, you know, pick you up, all that stuff. That's why you have a buddy system. Like, I got friends and family who I've called when I've been in a pickle and need to get picked up, or they've called when they've been in a pickle but need to get picked up. And, like, you just, you know, you gotta be the reliable one as well with them. Oh, that was bad. So she is, like, 2,300 short for the surgery. Yeah. You know, hopefully she recovers. And hopefully she's able to, you know... This is why... Granted, not everyone can afford to do this, but it's good to have what I call an oh shit fund. Basically, whatever paycheck you have and everything like that, you make sure, you know, at least a little bit goes into the oh shit fund for, you know, you get laid off, you get, you know, injury, sick, whatever. Anything that requires money, you're not scrounging or you don't go into debt and all that stuff. But it takes, especially for me, it does take a while to build back up that oh shit fund for sure. But yeah. Anyway, it is getting very late. I'm gonna end the stream here. It is almost midnight, or it's getting close to midnight. It's like 11:30. So I'm gonna end this stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what we're doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what we're doing poorly so I can fix it in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, whatever that is for you, may be a great time. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Till then, take care, everybody. Bye-bye!